Okay. Now, last class we have I was doing shock waves, and in the shock waves we have seen what are the things we saw. Shock waves are whenever there is a disturbance which is traveling with supersonic speed, shock waves are produced, isn't it? And shock waves are produced. We gave so many examples also. So that was about shock waves. And then we have started defining Mach number also we have defined. So to know the speed of the sound, we are using Mach number. Okay, so this is just a recap of what we did last class. And so Mach number is defined as velocity of the object to velocity of the sound. It has no unit. Then we started defining one by one what is acoustic waves. Acoustic waves are sound waves. These are the sound waves which travel with the velocity of 333 meters per second. Then we saw, and they have frequency range from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. Then for ultrasonic waves, we saw that they have the same velocity 333 meters per second, but frequency is how much? What is the frequency of ultrasonic waves? Ultrasonic, first hour now you switched on and went to bed. Ultrasonic waves frequency is how much, students?
More than 20,000 hertz, ma'am.
More than 20,000 hertz. Okay. Then we saw subsonic waves. In this, what is happening? Speed of the object is more. And so speed of the object is less. So what happens? The sound waves which are produced. This is the example I showed you. The sound produced by the object moves in front and the body is moving back. Okay. And in the case of supersonic, and so they have Mach number less than 1. All vehicles moving on the ground are example of their example of subsonic waves. And then came supersonic waves. In supersonic waves, the speed of the object is very much fast. The speed of the object is very high, and so the object moves front and sending a series of concentric sound waves. Up to that we finished, right? And then in this, right, and then we also saw transonic waves when it is shifting from subsonic to supersonic state. It is called transonic. Transition of the speed from subsonic to supersonic speed is called transonic waves. Example is the value is 0.8 to 1.2. Hypersonic means what we saw. In hypersonic, we said that what is the Mach number? It has Mach number greater than 5. Greater than 5, right? Okay. And then in this diagram, the same diagram I'm drawing, what happens when the object is moving? It has produced a series of concentric sound waves. That is what we have drawn, and it has produced series of concentric sound waves. And now if this mu is the angle which this cone has made, okay, and then this is the velocity of the sound waves produced by the body, and this is the velocity with which the body is moving. Then what is mu? Can you tell me what is sine mu? If A is the speed of the sound and V is the velocity of the body, what is mu equal to? Sine mu means what? Opposite side by this hypotenuse. This is 90 degree. So what is sine mu? What is the opposite of mu angle? Sine mu is, my God, this class is sleeping. A by V. See, sine mu is opposite side by hypotenuse. So A by V. So can I write this as sine mu is equal to 1 by m? How can I write this? CV004. CV005. Dhruv Seshu.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I write sine mu is equal to 1 by m?
Sine mu is equal to 1 by m. Yes, ma'am.
I can write it because we know that m is equal to what? M is equal to V by A by V. V by A. Yeah, so I can write mu is equal to 1 by m, right? So this angle, this mu angle is called Mach angle. Mu is called Mach angle, and this cone which we are drawing, imaginary cone, is called Mach cone. Okay, it is called Mach cone. So up to this we have seen. Right now, and I also showed you what will happen if it is with NASA superjets which are having Mach number. You can see that when they're moving, how the whole medium is getting disturbed, how much they have, there's a change in density, pressure and temperature of the medium. Okay, and this slide I showed you for subsonic and supersonic waves. Now let us now see the properties of shock waves. So we have seen that shock waves are produced when there is sudden disturbance in temperature, pressure and density of the medium. Right. So what are some of the properties? These shock waves can pass through solid, liquid and gas. Okay, it can pass through all the three ways. This is one of the property. And then how the shock waves, this is the YouTube which I was talking about. I said I will share the link now. We have seen now how the shock waves are produced. When there is sudden disturbance, there will be, okay, I will enlarge that screen. Yeah, how shock waves are produced? Shock waves, because of the propagation of sound, are produced due to the propagation of sound waves through the air. Okay, under normal conditions, like they are saying car, truck, they produce disturbance, and because of that sound waves are produced, isn't it? But if there is sudden disturbance, this shock wave, sound waves will be converted to shock waves. And if any body is traveling with supersonic speed, shock waves are produced. Okay, and so that is how they are showing this here. Now, one nice history of these shock waves. Suddenly, how these shock waves came into a picture. I know it is not very clear to you. I'll just read out for you about the history. How shock waves, they started thinking there is something called shock waves. You know, after this World War II, after the World War II, after many members, after so many explosions and bombing took place. What has happened? So the soldiers were diagnosed with some unexpected problems like brain injury, multiple airline cracks in the rib cage and neurological disorders. Why all this happened during this World War is because of the shock waves that were produced during bomb explosions. During the bomb explosions, when the shock waves are produced, it has caused lot of health issues for the soldiers. Okay, and it was in 1759 Euler thought that there is some disturbance which is produced when there is very large change in the density of the medium. Okay, again it has started from 1759, so they started thinking, and then 1808 Poisson's is a very important ratios we see, Poisson's ratio in elasticity, that where the in the case of sound waves, if the sound waves have the motion has become very high, they cannot be considered as small. Okay, when the sound waves are very intense, if the sound wave which you are hearing is very intense, I cannot consider that the molecules are small. That is, they are talking about shock waves. Okay, then in 1859 again, they started talking about shock compression and this compression waves. Right? Okay. So these are this is how they were able to think about the shock waves are there. Right now, you can see that this figure is about the bomb explosion which is taking place. You can see how the medium is changing. Okay, right. So now with this, let us see some of the properties again. So what are the properties of shock waves? Shock waves will travel in a medium where the Mach number is greater than 1. Okay, when the shock waves are traveling, the Mach number is going to be more than 1. Okay, they can travel through solid, liquid, gas and plasma also. Right, solid, liquid and plasma also. And it is we cannot consider it just like ordinary waves. Okay, but because they're propagating, we are saying it is like ordinary waves. Right. Now, whenever they pass through a medium, there is going to be a very large change in temperature, pressure, and density. Okay, and so these are the some of the properties of shock waves. Right. Now, let us continue with the new topic. So what are the properties of shock waves? I'm going to say, you'll say that shock waves will travel in a medium. Then the Mach number is greater than 1. And when the shock waves are traveling, they are following the laws of because it is just like flowing, no? So shock waves, I'll write SW. Shock waves follow the law of fluid dynamics. Follow the law of fuel dynamics. That is, when the liquid is flowing, there is like kinetic theory of gases. For the fluid also we have so many laws now. So shock waves are following these laws. Shock waves will follow this laws of fluid dynamics. Okay, and this diagram I want to show, shock waves are produced in a very small region. Okay, they are going to be, if this is one medium, this is another medium. In this region, if shock waves are produced, and it is in a very small region of dimension less than 1 micrometer. It is going to be in a dimension less than 1 micrometer. That is this diagram. Can you see that? I will enlarge the screen. See, if the two medium, it is coming from one end, one medium is traveling with this velocity, the other air is traveling with this velocity. When they both are going to clash, this is the region where shock waves are produced, and this is going to be called shock front. So shock waves are present only in this region. Okay, and this region we are going to call shock front. It is going to be shock front. So shock front is a region where shock waves are produced, and because shock waves are produced, there is a very high increase in temperature, pressure, and density of the medium. Temperature, pressure. So this is the shock front. So what you should say, shock waves exist in a medium of dimension not more than 1 micrometer. 1 micrometer, and the medium where shock waves are produced is called shock front. Okay, right. So we were seeing here, no? Yeah. So this is called shock front. The place where the shock waves are produced is called shock front. Right. And shock waves can travel through solid, liquid, and gas also. And whenever they pass through the medium, you know that there is going to be very large increase in temperature, pressure, and density. Right. With this, let us see another small topic called how to analyze the shock waves. So control volume. Okay, control volume. Now let us say this is the shock front. This is the shock front. So what is shock front? Students, what is shock front? What happened?
The place
Yeah.
it occurs, ma'am.
The region where the shock waves are produced. Okay, yeah. So in the class only one student is there. Right. Okay, this is shock front. Now what? So we have a control volume. It is an imaginary control volume is used to study the properties of shock waves. Okay, now what is the shock wave? Now shock volume, this control volume, what I do, just surrounding this shock front, I draw a imaginary envelope, just like a sheet of paper. This is an imaginary envelope which we are going to enclose the shock front. It is imaginary. Okay, so it has two sides. It is two sides. This side is pre-shock region. It is pre-shock. Okay, and this region is post-shock. Okay, so what does it mean? So what is control volume? Control volume is an imaginary envelope of one dimension one dimension, which is enclosing the shock front, and what is its purpose? Just to analyze the shock front before it is produced and after it is produced. Okay, now let us consider row 1. Okay, row 1, then T1, then H1, P1 and U1 R. Okay, these are the terms we are going to use to study the shock waves. So let row 1 be the density of the shock waves, T be the temperature of the shock waves, P be the pressure of the shock waves, U be the velocity of the shock waves, and all these are H1. Okay, and H1 is enthalpy of the shock waves. Okay, what is enthalpy? Heat, the total heat in the system. Enthalpy means heat content in the system is called enthalpy, heat content. I'll enlarge it. Okay, right. So what we are seeing what is control volume. I said control volume is a imaginary envelope which is enclosing the shock front. It has two surfaces, pre-shock side and post-shock side. Rho 1 is the density, T is the temperature, H1 is the enthalpy, and P is the pressure, and U is the velocity of the shock waves before they are produced. Okay, then can you guess? Rho 2, T2, H2, P2 and U2 are what? Fast. What is rho 2? Rho 2 is rho 2 is what? Density, temperature, enthalpy, pressure and velocity of the shock waves after they are produced. Okay, right. Now students, you people have become very lazy now. You go to assignment. Okay, you go to assignment. I have given a small quiz of 5 questions. Right now, so what is control volume? We saw, students, control volume is just imaginary. It is just a model. It is just an imaginary model to study about shock waves before it is produced and after it is produced. Okay, so I said rho 1, T1, H1, P1, U1 are all the quantities of the shock waves before it is produced. Density, temperature, enthalpy, pressure and velocity before it is produced, and all that rho 2, H2, T2 are all for after it is produced. So based on this, we can analyze the shock waves. You remember, no? I said even that Pichkari, holy Pichkari can be taken as can produce shock waves to a very weak. It can produce very weak shock waves, isn't it? That I said, right. Now let us see the last topic. Actually, I'm going slow only. Some student is telling now he doesn't have this MS Steamer. Today morning he's texting. Anything texting, you should do it by evening 7, because morning I will be also busy. Yeah, now see this. What we are going to do, why we used this rho 1, comma H1, comma P1, comma and T1, comma and U1 we have used, and this is before shock waves. Then rho 2, H2, P2, T2 and U2, you know what are they now. Okay, now what we are going to do, we are going to just express. You people are lucky we are not deriving this. Previous batch we derived this. We are going to have some equation called Rankine-Huguenot equations. Rankine-Huguenot equations. What are they? These are the equations, okay, from which I can calculate all these values. Rankine-Huguenot equations are the equations which are used to study the shock waves. Okay, now luckily you don't have this, but only with expression we are going to write. So to derive this Rankine-Hugoniot equations, we need the three laws, basic conservation laws. Conservation conservation laws we should know. Okay, so so this is going to help you to score marks here. So first one, law of conservation of energy, or let us see mass. Law of conservation of mass, the same statement, nothing changes here. You already know. Okay, so tell me, what is law of conservation of mass? Students? Same statement. In any closed system or in any isolated system, the total mass of the system remains a constant. Okay, that is called law of conservation of mass. So in the same way, law of conservation of energy also we are going to write. Law of conservation of momentum also you have to state and directly write the equation. For this you get 6 marks. Okay, they'll say explain the law of conservations of mass, energy and momentum. If you state it, you get 6 marks. So what is law of conservation of mass? In any isolated system, the total mass of the system remains a constant. In any isolated system, the total mass of the system remains a constant. Remains constant, and it is independent of any changes taking place, and is independent of any chemical or physical change. Any chemical or physical change happening that takes place inside the system, takes place inside the system. Okay, yeah. So this is called law of conservation of mass. So what is law of conservation of mass? In any isolated system, the total mass of the system remains constant and is independent of any change taking place. Okay, whatever change takes place inside the system, chemical or physical change, but it will remain same. Okay, and we can derive this as ρ1 u1 is equal to ρ2 u2. This is important. Statement is old to you, but this equation, this is one of the Rankine-Hugoniot equations. Okay, so for law of conservation of mass, ρ1 u1 is equal to ρ2 u2. Now you know what is ρ1. What is ρ1? ρ1 is the density of the shock waves. ρ2 is density of the shock waves after it is produced. What is u1?
Velocity
of the shock waves. Yeah, u2 is velocity after it is produced. So this you should write. For writing this you get 2 marks. Okay, frequently asked, so that students can score marks. Law of conservation of mass. In the same way, law of conservation of energy, I need not make the statement. What will say? Everything same. What will say? In any isolated system, the total energy of the system remains constant, isn't it? And same thing, all same thing you should write. And it is independent of any chemical or physical change taking place inside the system. Or you can say, according to law of conservation of energy, energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. Okay, and its equation for energy, for law of conservation of energy, the equation is given by H1 plus U1 square by 2. Can you complete it? What I'll get this side? H2 plus U2 the whole square by 2. These equations you have to read by heart. So what is H1 is the enthalpy, U1 is the velocity. So for law of conservation of energy, the equation is given by H1 plus U1 square by 2 equal to H2 plus U2 square by 2. Okay, for energy. Then for last one, for momentum, what does law of conservation of momentum say? The momentum before collision is equal to momentum after collision, or for any closed system, what I can say, for any isolated system, the total momentum remains a constant. Except these equations, the other things you can easily remember, but equation also if you see once you will understand. Okay, for any for momentum, law of conservation of momentum, what does it state? For any closed system, the momentum before collision is equal to momentum after collision, or the total momentum of a system remains constant. Okay, and it is given by P1 plus rho 1 U1 square equal to P2 plus rho 2 U2 square. This is the equation for momentum. P1 you know pressure, rho 1 density, U is velocity. So P1 plus rho 1 U1 square is equal to P2 plus rho 2 U2 square. Okay, so this is the topic we have seen today. So we saw, what are the things we saw today? We saw properties of shock waves. Shock waves, what some properties we have seen. Then we saw control volume, and we saw law of conservation of mass, energy and momentum. Okay, now the last one, I'll tell you that how simple this chapter is, very mark scoring, I said, because see, they'll ask you just define law of conservation of mass, energy and momentum. You can write easily. Only thing, the equations you have to remember. Okay, so now tell me, just let us have a recap. Tell me the equation for mass. What I'll write for mass? For mass, what is the equation? For mass,
yeah. U equal to rho 2 into U2.
Rho 1 U1 is equal to rho 2 U2. Okay. For energy, it is what? It is H1 plus U1 square.
U1 square by 2.
H2 plus U2. This one we were deriving previously.
V1 square by 2.
Yeah. So momentum. What is momentum? Momentum is equal to, we saw P1 plus rho 1 U1 square is equal to P2 plus rho 2. Yeah, very good. Okay, so previously, previous syllabus students used to derive this. Now they have removed it. At least you have to remember these equations and make the statement. Okay, and make the statement. Okay, students, I'm just going to wind up. Before that, just a very simple numerical. Okay, you remember what is A in Mach number? What is A in Mach number? A is the velocity of sound. No, we wrote A is equal to what? Gamma RT. Okay, now they are giving you gamma is given. Gamma is given as 1.667. Okay, R is given. The universal gas constant is given as 2208. Okay, and you have to, a temperature is also given. It is 350. Okay, Kelvin. Is it not very simple? They'll give you all these three. Okay, you have to just substitute, get the value of velocity of sound. Okay, velocity of sound. This will do. It is 9:50. You need time to log off and log in. No? Before that, this will do tomorrow. Okay, so in what I said, in between, you have to be ready for a quiz of mostly